Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about Merlin versus Margaret. Last week in the daily talk section in the game, I posted an engagement post about this topic. Who would you use in a water backline? In my opinion, right now, there are some skills that benefit one immortal more than another. And in this video, I will be breaking down Merlin and Margaret and which one I recommend you guys to use in this water backline. Now let's take a look at the skills that I would use for Merlin personally. This is like higher end Merlin build that when I get energy mastery as well, I would probably replace that with Psionic Tide. So basically you can take that out, but for now let's put it in there because I want to show you guys what I think about it, right? So this is what I would pick if you want to go for the high-end water backline with Merlin. This is probably what I wanted to do. And also nowadays, if you don't mind these two immortals in front, you're probably only gonna need Ragnar, and probably you can go with more flexible pick on your, another front line and also another back line. I'm probably gonna pick Fu Fei, but if you do not get Fu Fei, I think Artemisia will be a very good shout as well. And in this back line with Merlin, I know the mages are quite OP in this game, and the mages have, like, I would say, advantage where the skill shots have literally zero chance to miss, right? So you're probably gonna hit most of the time, or not probably, you are going to hit all the time. It's just that the only thing you have to focus on with the mages are the crit, right? You may want to crit as much as possible because that's kind of like where the jackpot is, right? If you don't, okay, it's gonna do good amount of damage, right? But in my opinion, the base damage you're probably gonna see a little bit higher in archers, but the base damage here is still gonna be very strong, right? So look at it here. I would probably build Merlin like this. I would surround him with Ragnar to be, make sure that he get extra 30% damage increase or magical damage increase with Ragnar's ultimate. And if you do want to go with the likes of Attila, need the artifact as well, then I would definitely recommend it. And the last one here, you can flex a little bit. You want extra damage, I would definitely go for Artemisia because Dido, I think she is not really good at the moment, and with the Artemisia being out, I think Artemisia is way better because according to her skill description, she can give 100% chance to shield to enemies, so Merlin will get extra damage. But for me, I have Fu Fei. I'm probably gonna get Fu Fei in here instead because I want control immunity, like CC immunity for all of the immortals, right? So that is one of the things that plays a huge mind. And the skill wise, as I explained a little bit in the introduction, a lot of the newer skills that have been recently released tends to lean towards mages a little bit more, especially how OP, if you're talking about the high end like of the mages, right, versus archers. High end mage skills is way better than high end archer skills, but some of the archers have a better kit to the immortals than mages. But for this instance, I would probably run Merlin like this, right? And I think Merlin is gonna be a little bit better than Margaret, but let's take a look at Margaret as well before we actually conclude this. Now let's take a look at Margaret in this game. Here I swapped out Ragnar for Björn. The reason why I want to do that is because Björn do have a better, in general, damage increase to enemies with 20%, right? I think that is better for Margaret instead of using, Harold and, Ramses, but I would probably run something similar to like this, right? Or maybe switch out Artemisia, but Artemisia is basically support of Margaret. And if you manage to shield and you do damage with Margaret, you have the chance to get more damage and also silence the enemies. And I think that is really OP. The skill wise, it looks and it sounds very OP, right? And if you don't know what kind of skills the Margaret does, she increased the damage. I'm gonna show you guys right here. Right there. So deal physical damage to all enemies, which is a plus in my opinion, because if you do AoE damage like that, that is a very good start. 500% is a lot. If the target is affected by shield, the skill will deal additional physical damage rate 300%. That's, in my opinion, very, very OP, right? If the target is affected by silence, the physical damage they deal is reduced by 20% for 6 seconds. So it's very good against, I would say, the physical damage teams, but like I said, the energy region is a little bit low, which is all the archers have that, but the shield is gonna be very good. While you might want to, you can flex with Fufe into Merlin, but you can also flex Fufe into Margaret, but then you're losing 300%, right? That is one of the things that you have to think about. You have to play around. If you play Margaret, you need Artemisia on the side of her, and then you're probably gonna go with Harold and Attila in the beginning of the game, right? And then you can flex Björn into the team afterwards. That's what I want to do. And also you want to play around here, the energy region a little bit, so you increase energy, right? And the reason why I put Psionic Tide here is because it doesn't matter if you're gonna be magical damage or anything like that, right? You will get 200 points no matter what if you hit all the 4 immortals or all the 4 enemy immortals. It doesn't matter if you want to be frontline, backline, anything. Doesn't matter. As a physical damage dealer that deals damage to all enemies with one ultimate can benefit from this skill and get 200 points no matter what, right? And then you have the corrosive power that also give you 200 points, but it's going to be 400 altogether. And then potentially in the future, right, then you remove this and then you put energy mastery here if you want like a top high-end archers. I think that can be working very well, right? So yeah, basically it's gonna do some damage. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit here against the Noom. Although this is like a not finished build, but I want to showcase Margaret for you guys. I don't even have the artifact, so I cannot do it properly, but you kind of get the idea from where I'm coming from, right? Where you see here the damage is there, but also I don't know if I said it during this video, archers can miss ultimate. You see here, right? I did say that mages never miss, and that's why a lot of people prefer mages over archers. Doesn't even like all the archers have the incredible potential, like the damage potential, but You know, for example, let's say I miss 3 times here. Now I'm basically missing 2 million damage, right? That is one of the things that, you know, always, you know, will be in your back of the head, right? Because you want to go archers. Archers are really strong, have a good kit, but it can miss. That's kind of like the disadvantage between Merlin and Margaret. Margaret will miss, Merlin will never. Merlin have higher chances to crit because of the artifact stats, right? The first attributes of the stats has crit rate, while Margaret will be dealing with extra physical damage, attack, percentage, and accuracy value, right? So you're basically getting like a kind of win-lose situation with Margaret, where she's probably gonna do more base damage than Merlin, but she also have a chance to lose as well. So you're missing 2 million damage here as an example. While Merlin, most of the time, I'm gonna show you guys some report about Merlin. This is like what I have in mind. So my Merlin never missed once, right? Although this is higher, like same number, but keep in mind Merlin is like maxed out, built out here as well. And with the skill set, you can do a lot of damage and stuff like that. So yeah, to conclude this video, basically I would say if you want to pick Merlin versus Margaret right now, if you have the skills, like the higher end skills available, Merlin will be better choice than Margaret. But if you do not have those skills available, I personally would prefer Margaret over Merlin. Keep in mind that the water dragon favors physical damage dealer than mage, like the mages, right? So if you are in the early stage from beginning of the game, mid game, or you are just started the game, water is, you know, it's tricky, but if you can get over that stage, the mid game, and you bring water with Margaret, Artemisia, and Attila Bjorn, for example, Attila and Harold, I think you will be doing fine. I think it's going to be good. I've seen and heard rumors that Margaret actually performing well if you have some legendary skills and stuff like that. But then again, now we're talking about like higher end of, you know, water teams with, you know, spend a lot of money, right? But as a free to play right now, I think Merlin is easier to build. Margaret is more challenging, but Margaret, I think, is a better backline as a free to play. But once you unlock more like of the pay to win stuff, I think Merlin gonna be better than Margaret. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope my conclusion actually explain what you want to know, what you want to or what you need about, you know, information for these immortals as well. So thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.